Hey everyone, welcome back to Talk Tickers. Today we're going to put on our financial detective hats because we are diving deep into Autodesk's Q3 2025 earnings call. Now, before you go thinking that this is just for like the Wall Street pros, trust me, anyone can get in on this.
Absolutely.
Think of it this way. Autodesk is the engine behind those absolutely mind-blowing movies you watch and those incredible buildings that you see.
That's right.
So by cracking the code of this earnings call, we're not just looking at their past performance. We're also getting a sneak peek into their future game plan, their growth strategy.
Yeah, their secret sauce.
Okay, so to set the scene, Autodesk, a software giant that you probably use more than you realize,
You probably do.
just had a pretty interesting quarter.
Interesting is a good word for it.
They actually beat revenue estimates, but then get this, their stock took an 8% dip
Whoa.
after hours.
Yeah.
Why? That is one of the mysteries we're going to try to solve today.
Big question mark.
And here's another one.
Lay it on me.
Their construction business is booming
Booming.
like crazy.
Yeah.
Doubling new customers year over year.
I mean, come on.
So what is their secret sauce?
Yeah, what is it?
All right, we'll break it all down. First things first, let's talk about this whole stock dip situation.
Okay.
Autodesk had a solid Q3. They even raised their full year guidance, but the stock still takes a hit.
It did.
It just goes to show how Wall Street can sometimes focus on the short-term buzz instead of the company's long-term health.
Yeah, they're always looking for that quick little dopamine rush.
Exactly. It's a classic case of traders reacting to a few specific details instead of seeing the forest for the trees.
It really is. It's all about the short-term gains, you know?
It highlights the difference between what Wall Street is laser focused on versus the company's actual performance.
And it can be pretty frustrating for a company like Autodesk that's like, playing the long game and
Absolutely.
building a sustainable business.
Exactly. And speaking of performance, you've got to give them props for resilience.
You really do.
I mean, even with all the global economic craziness happening,
Yeah.
Autodesk's revenue grew by 12% in
Yeah.
constant currency.
Mm-hmm.
And just so everyone's on the same page, constant currency basically means we're stripping away all the noise of fluctuating exchange rates to see the true growth of the business.
Yeah. So we can see what's really going on.
Pretty neat, huh?
It is pretty neat.
It is impressive, and it speaks to the strength of their diverse product portfolio.
It really does.
I mean, they've got a hand in so many different industries: architecture,
Yeah.
engineering, construction, manufacturing.
It's a real safety net.
It's like a safety net protecting them if one sector hits a rough patch.
Exactly. It's a smart strategy.
Now, there's something else we need to address, and this one's a little complex.
Okay.
Autodesk is switching over to a whole new transaction model, which has caused a bit of a stir in their financials.
A little bit of a stir.
So basically, they're moving away from selling software licenses up front and going towards a subscription model.
Think of it like this. They are building stronger,
All right.
longer-lasting customer relationships by offering ongoing access to their software instead of just a one-time purchase.
So instead of giving them like the whole pie up front, they're giving them a slice every month.
Frankly, yeah, like a subscription to awesome.
And while this new model has been great for their free cash flow, investors are still wrapping their heads around what this means for the long haul.
Yeah, because it's a big change.
It is a big change.
It takes time to adjust.
I think it's commendable that they're not shying away from modernizing their business, even if it leads to some short-term bumps in the road.
Yeah, it shows they're thinking ahead.
Yeah, it's all about playing the long game.
Exactly.
Okay, now for the part I've been excited about. Their construction business. This segment is absolutely crushing it.
Crushing it.
New customers are practically knocking down the door. Existing ones are sticking around.
It's a good sign.
Clearly, they're doing something right.
They must be.
It makes sense when you consider the global construction boom. I mean, it's happening everywhere. And Autodesk is right there with a comprehensive cloud-based platform that helps companies manage projects from the initial design all the way to completion.
So they're like a one-stop shop.
Exactly. And they're not just attracting any construction company. They're reeling in the big fish. The earnings call mentioned power construction,
Okay.
a top 100 contractor
Wow.
who chose Autodesk after a pretty tough selection process because of their unified cloud-based platform.
You beat out the competition?
They beat out the competition. I mean, it's a big deal.
It is.
Imagine having all aspects of a massive construction project,
Mm,
streamlined and managed in one place.
that's efficiency right there.
It's beautiful.
It is.
That's the beauty of a unified platform.
Uh-huh.
It fosters collaboration, streamlines communication, and boosts efficiency across the
That's a
board.
game changer.
It's a game changer. And it's
Uh-huh.
not just construction stealing the show.
Ah.
Their Fusion 360 software is taking the manufacturing world by storm. It seems like everyone's jumping on the digital transformation bandwagon, and Fusion is becoming their go-to tool.
That's interesting.
It is. Fusion's success boils down to a few key things.
Okay.
It's incredibly user-friendly. It's built for seamless cloud-based collaboration. And it can handle both intricate printed circuit board design
Wow.
and cutting-edge additive manufacturing workflows.
So it's pretty versatile.
Very versatile. I mean, it's pretty impressive.
It is.
The transcript actually had this mind-blowing example of a global manufacturer using Fusion to connect their teams and data across multiple locations.
Mm-hmm.
The result, they saved a whopping 105,000 hours per year.
That's insane.
Talk about a productivity boost.
That's more than just a boost.
That's a boost and a half.
That's a whole new level.
That's a prime example of how Autodesk is empowering businesses, big and small, to unlock incredible efficiency gains through digitalization.
I mean, they're solving real-world problems.
They are.
And delivering tangible results.
Underpinning all this success is Autodesk's laser focus on what they call optimization at scale, which essentially means they're squeezing every ounce of value out of every dollar they invest,
Right.
constantly looking for ways to improve efficiency.
So they're not just resting on their laurels.
Absolutely not. And to really spearhead this effort, they've brought in a new CFO, Janesh Moorjani,
Okay.
and his track record is quite impressive. He's known for driving optimization at companies like Elastic VMware and Cisco.
Those are some big names.
They are big names. So his appointment signals a clear commitment to operational excellence and maximizing returns for investors.
It's a good sign for shareholders.
It is a very good sign. And let's not forget their commitment to buying back shares, which reduces the number of shares out there and ultimately increases the value of the existing ones.
So it's like they're giving a little boost to their own stock.
It's a move that often goes hand in hand with a focus on efficiency and returning value to shareholders.
It makes sense.
Makes a lot of sense. All right, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
But now comes the fun part.
Oh.
We're going to shift gears into our This Is Not Financial Advice segment,
Okay.
where we throw out some outrageous but plausible trade ideas. Buckle up, folks.
This is where it gets interesting.
And remember, this is all hypothetical just for fun.
Yes. Always do your own research and consult with a financial advisor.
Absolutely. Before making any investment decisions.
Very important.
Okay, so let's play a little game.
Okay, I like games.
Let's say some short-term traders might be spooked by Autodesk's after-hours dip.
Okay.
But what if, and this is a big what if,
Huh.
a savvy investor saw this dip as a golden buying opportunity,
Ooh.
betting on the company's long-term growth story,
Okay.
driven by the booming construction sector, the rise of Fusion 360, and the new CFO's focus on optimization.
Interesting.
What do you think?
Well, while I can't endorse any specific trades,
Of course.
it does highlight how understanding the nuances of an earnings call can spark potential investment insights.
That's what we like to do here.
Yep.
It's all about connecting the dots, seeing the bigger picture, and thinking outside the box.
That's how you find those hidden gems.
That's how you find them.
Welcome back to Talk Tickers.
We're digging deeper into Autodesk's Q3 2025 earnings call.
Sifting through all the details to uncover those insights that matter most.
Picking up where we left off in part one,
Uh-huh.
we talked about Autodesk's pretty impressive financial performance,
Yeah.
even with the market throwing a little tantrum.
A little bit, yeah.
And we explored their incredible growth in the construction and manufacturing world.
Two massive industries ripe for disruption.
We also introduced the new CFO,
Janesh?
Janesh Moorjani,
Moorjani, that's right.
and discussed how his focus on optimization at scale could potentially supercharge Autodesk's value.
For the company and its investors,
Now let's put our detective hats back on
back on they go.
and examine some key takeaways from the earnings call transcript that might have slipped under the radar.
All right, let's see.
What really jumped out at you?
Well, one thing that caught my eye was Autodesk's emphasis on their transition to annual billings for multi-year contracts.
Okay.
Now, it might sound like a technicality, but it's a pretty significant change from their previous approach.
Yeah, I was curious about that too. It seems like a big shift.
It
What's
is.
the reasoning behind it?
It all comes down to how they report their financials.
Okay.
Previously, when they landed a multi-year contract,
Ah.
they'd recognize all the revenue up front.
Oh, I see.
So imagine a huge spike in revenue in one quarter,
Right.
which can make it tricky to track the actual steady growth of the business.
So by switching to annual billings,
Mm-hmm.
they're smoothing out those revenue spikes,
Exactly.
creating a more accurate snapshot of their ongoing performance.
Think of it like cleaning up a messy signal, so investors can get a clearer picture of the underlying trend. Plus, it helps Autodesk manage their cash flow more effectively and align their financial reporting with the actual delivery of their services.
It seems like this move to annual billings, along with the new transaction model, is causing some short-term hiccups in their financials.
Sure, but ultimately, it's setting them up for more sustainable, predictable growth down the line.
Right. It's like short-term pain for long-term gain.
Exactly.
It's a reminder that sometimes, even amidst all the positive developments, the market can be a bit myopic,
Oh, yeah.
fixating on those temporary fluctuations
Ah.
instead of the long-term vision.
The market can be fickle like that.
It can. Speaking of long-term vision,
Okay.
their resilience in the face of all this global economic uncertainty is pretty remarkable.
It really is.
What is their secret weapon?
We touched on this earlier, but their diversification across multiple industries is a major advantage.
Yeah.
If one sector stumbles, others can help keep the momentum going.
Right. It's like that old saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Exactly. And within their diverse product portfolio, there are some real gems
Oh, yeah.
that are fueling their growth even in challenging times.
We've already talked about their construction business, which is clearly capitalizing on the global construction boom.
They're riding that wave.
They're riding the wave.
Yeah.
But they're not just riding the wave. They're shaping the future of construction
That's right.
with their innovative cloud-based platform.
It's a game changer.
And they're not just stopping at construction.
No.
Their manufacturing segment, led by Fusion 360, is also performing exceptionally well.
It's a real powerhouse.
It's a game changer for manufacturers of all sizes,
Absolutely.
empowering them to design, engineer, and manufacture products with incredible speed and efficiency.
It's all about streamlining those workflows.
Right. I love how Fusion 360 embodies Autodesk's commitment to leveraging cutting-edge technology like the cloud and AI to revolutionize industries.
It's not just about providing software anymore.
It's about delivering comprehensive solutions
That's right.
that connect workflows, data, and people across the entire product lifecycle.
They're creating a seamless, integrated experience for their customers.
It is.
And that's incredibly valuable in today's fast-paced world.
One thing that really stood out to me in the transcript was their emphasis on customer success.
Oh, yeah?
It seems like they're going above and beyond just selling software licenses. They're actively partnering with their customers to ensure they're getting the most out of their investments.
So it's not just a transactional relationship, it's a partnership.
It is a partnership. They shared some compelling examples of how they're helping companies streamline processes, reduce costs, and accelerate innovation through their software.
Real-world results.
Remember that global manufacturer who saved a mind-blowing 105,000 hours per year thanks to Fusion 360?
Yeah, that was a pretty impressive case study.
That's a perfect example of how Autodesk solutions are driving real, tangible results for their customers.
They're not just talking the talk.
No.
They're walking the walk.
And they're not just focusing on those massive enterprises either. They're strategically expanding their reach into the mid-market,
Smart move.
bringing the power of their cloud-based solutions to smaller businesses.
Democratizing access to sophisticated tools.
Exactly. Okay, let's shift gears for a moment and zoom in on Autodesk's financial performance.
All right.
They beat revenue estimates, raised their full-year guidance, and yet their stock took a dip after hours.
The market doesn't always make sense.
It doesn't. It's a reminder that the market can sometimes be short-sighted,
Absolutely.
focusing on the ripples instead of the tide.
That's a great analogy. You have to look beyond those temporary fluctuations and focus on the underlying strength and direction of the company.
And in Autodesk's case, those underlying fundamentals are strong.
They are?
They have a diversified business model, an innovative product portfolio, and a disciplined approach to execution.
A recipe for success.
They've got a clear strategy, a proven track record, and now a new CFO with a laser focus on operational excellence.
All systems go.
It all adds up to a compelling growth story that's worth paying attention to.
Definitely one to watch.
Now, before we get too carried away, it's crucial to remember that this is just our analysis. Always do your own research and consult with a qualified financial advisor before making any investment decisions.
Absolutely essential.
Absolutely. But hopefully this deep dive has given you a better understanding of Autodesk's business, their growth drivers, and their potential for continued success.
That's what we're hoping for.
And that brings us to the end of part 2. Stay tuned for the final part of our deep dive, where we'll explore some intriguing details about Autodesk's future direction and uncover those hidden gems that often get overlooked. Welcome back to Talk Tickers, the final stretch of our deep dive into Autodesk's Q3 2025 earnings call. We've covered their financial performance, their growth strategies, and even dared to venture into the realm of what-if trade ideas.
It's been quite the journey.
It has.
But before we wrap things up, let's zoom in on some intriguing details from the transcript
Okay.
that kind of hint at Autodesk's future direction, those little nuggets that might not make headlines,
Right.
but offer valuable clues about their priorities and where they're headed.
You're talking about those hidden gems that often get overlooked in the flurry of numbers and announcements.
Exactly. For instance, they mention a ramped-up investment in Autodesk Construction Cloud, specifically for infrastructure projects. This tells me they're laser-focused on tapping into that massive wave of global infrastructure spending that's happening right now.
That makes a lot of sense. Governments worldwide are pouring money into infrastructure projects, and Autodesk is positioning themselves as the go-to software provider for this booming sector.
And it's not just about providing individual software tools, it's about delivering a comprehensive platform
Right.
that connects every phase of the project lifecycle, from the initial design and planning stages all the way through construction and even into the ongoing operations.
So they're creating a digital ecosystem for the infrastructure of tomorrow.
Now, there was another intriguing detail that piqued my interest.
Okay.
Autodesk Forma, their cloud-based platform for early-stage planning and design. Have you heard much about this one?
Forma. That's a new one for me. What's the scoop?
It's a relatively new product, but it's gaining traction, particularly among architects and urban planners. Forma empowers them to create, analyze, and visualize their designs in a collaborative, data-rich environment.
So it's all about bringing those early design concepts to life in a more immersive and data-driven way.
Precisely, and it's a prime example of how Autodesk is pushing the boundaries of what's possible with cloud-based design software.
Speaking of pushing boundaries, they also touched upon Autodesk Tandem, their digital twin solution.
Yes. Tandem digital twins are creating a lot of buzz these days, and for good reason.
Right.
Imagine a virtual replica of a physical asset, like a building or a factory, that allows you to simulate and analyze its performance in real time.
It's like having X-ray vision into the inner workings of your assets, allowing you to identify potential issues before they even arise.
And Tandem takes it a step further by connecting these digital twins to real-time data feeds, providing even deeper insights into how your assets are performing in the real world.
That's powerful stuff.
It's an incredibly powerful tool for optimizing efficiency, reducing costs, and making more informed decisions.
And Autodesk is a frontrunner in this space, seamlessly integrating Tandem with their other design and construction solutions.
It's all connected?
It's another testament to their vision of providing a holistic platform for managing the entire life cycle of an asset, from the initial design concept all the way through to its operation and maintenance.
They're thinking long-term.
Now, switching gears for a moment, they also address the ongoing efforts to ensure software license compliance. It's not always the most glamorous topic,
Not really.
but it's crucial for any software company.
It is. It's about protecting their intellectual property
Right.
and ensuring a level playing field for everyone.
Exactly. And Autodesk has invested heavily in robust tools and processes to ensure their software is being used legally and that they're capturing all the revenue they're entitled to.
They're not messing around.
They even shared a great example in the transcript of how they collaborated with a large multinational manufacturing company to resolve compliance issues, ultimately strengthening their relationship with that customer.
So it's not just about cracking down, it's about working together to find solutions.
It highlights their proactive and partnership-oriented approach to license compliance, which is essential for building trust and maintaining those long-term customer relationships.
It's all about building those strong relationships.
Okay, before we wrap up our deep dive, let's circle back to the big picture. What are the key takeaways for investors listening in?
Well, to put it simply, Autodesk is firing on all cylinders. They're a global leader in design and make software with a diversified business model, a proven track record of innovation, and a clear vision for the future.
They're riding the wave of major trends like digital transformation, urbanization, and infrastructure development, while also forging their own path with cutting-edge technologies like digital twins and cloud-based collaboration tools.
And with a new CFO at the helm who's laser focused on operational excellence and maximizing shareholder value, they're well positioned for continued growth and success.
It's a compelling story, and one that investors should definitely keep an eye on. Now, as always, we need to add the disclaimer that this is just our analysis.
Of course.
Always do your own research and consult with a qualified financial advisor before making any investment decisions.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. But hopefully our deep dive has provided some valuable insights and perhaps even sparked some ideas for your own investment journey.
That's what we're here for.
Thanks for joining us on this Talk Tickers adventure. We'll be back soon with another deep dive into the world of earnings calls, breaking down complex information and uncovering those hidden gems that can help you make more informed decisions. Until then, happy investing.